Let us see about anatomy of trachea. First about trachea. Trachea is a mobile, cartilaginous and membranous tube. It begins as a continuation of larynx at the lower border of cricoid cartilage at the sixth cervical vertebra. Trachea ends at carina by dividing into right and left principal bronchi at T4, T5 thoracic vertebra. Carina is a cartilaginous ridge within the trachea at the tracheal bifurcation. The trachea is 11.25 cm long and 2.5 cm in diameter. This is the trachea. It is a mobile cartilaginous membranous tube. It begins at the lower border of cricoid cartilage. This is lower border of cricoid cartilage at the sixth cervical vertebra. It ends at T4, T5 thoracic vertebra at the sternal angle or at carina. Here it divides into or bifurcates into right and left main bronchi. The entire trachea is 11.25 cm in length and 2.5 cm in diameter. The structure of trachea continues. The trachea consists of U-shaped cartilaginous rings made of hyaline cartilage. It helps to keep the trachea weighted. The cartilaginous ring is or rings are U-shaped. It is made of hyaline cartilage. Then the free ends of the cartilages are connected by trachealis muscle posteriorly. The posterior end of rings of cartilage are free. The free ends are connected together by trachealis muscle. The mucous membrane of trachea is lined with the respiratory epithelium, which is nothing but pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium with the globular cells and the mucus glands. Here is the picture of anatomy. This is cricoid cartilage. The trachea starts at the lower border of cricoid cartilage at the thoracic C6 cervical vertebra. Then it ends up to T4, T5 thoracic vertebra or at the sternal angle or at the location of carina. That is the internal ridge. Then where it divides into right and left main bronchi. Main bronchi are also called principal bronchi or primary bronchi. Then you can see cartilaginous rings here. These are tracheal cartilaginous ring which are U-shaped. So behind, this is the posterior part of the cartilaginous U-shaped ring. So behind, posteriorly, the two ends are connected together by trachealis muscle. This is the trachealis muscle. Then this is the tracheal mucosa, which consists of respiratory epithelium, mucus glands, and globular cells. Coming to the relation of trachea in the neck. Anterior to trachea or in front of trachea, we can see skin, fascia, isthmus of thyroid gland, inferior thyroid vein, thyroid ema artery, and left brachiocephalic vein overlapped by sternothyroid and sternohyoid muscle. Posteriorly, we can see right and left recurrent laryngeal nerves and esophagus. On the side, we can observe lobes of thyroid gland and carotid sheath with its contents. This is the picture of relation. This is the anterior trachea, anterior part of trachea, which is where we can see isthmus of thyroid gland, thyroid ema artery. Then here you can see inferior thyroid veins and left brachiocephalic vein. These are covered by sternothyroid and sternohyoid muscles. On the side you can see lobes of thyroid gland, internal jugular vein. Here you can see common carotid artery. Then posteriorly we can see recurrent laryngeal nerve and esophagus, which is not visible in the picture. Coming to the blood supply of trachea, it is from tracheal branches of inferior thyroid artery. The venous drainage is via brachiocephalic, azygous and accessory hemiazygous veins. The lymph drainage of trachea is into pretracheal and paratracheal lymph nodes and deep cervical nodes. The nerve supply comes from recurrent laryngeal nerve. That was in brief about the anatomy of trachea. Let us see what is bronchi. We have already seen the trachea bifurcates at the level of sternal angle or at T4 T5 thoracic vertebra or at carina into right and left main bronchus. You can see here, this is the right main bronchus and this is the left main bronchus. This is the trachea, this is the place of bifurcation. About the main bronchus or the principal bronchi, we have two, right and left. About the right main bronchus or right main or principal bronchi or right primary bronchi. Before entering the hilum of right lung, the right bronchus enters into the right lung. The right bronchi gives off, before entering into the right lung, it gives off a branch called the superior lobar bronchus. Before entering in the right lung, the right main bronchus divides into superior lobar bronchus. This is the superior lobar bronchus. Then it enters the right lung and it divides into two again, middle and inferior lobar bronchus. So there are three lobar bronchus for right bronchus: superior, middle and inferior lobar bronchus. The right bronchus is wider, shorter and steeper compared to the left bronchus, and it is 2 cm in length. Because of these characters, inhaled foreign body is much more likely to enter the right bronchus. Then, the left bronchus is narrower, longer, horizontal and has 5 cm length compared to the right bronchus. About the left bronchus for the details. It passes to the left below the arch of aorta. This is the arch of aorta. So it passes under the arch of aorta to enter the hilum of the left lung. After entering the hilum of left lung, it divides into two lobar bronchi, superior and inferior. In the right side, there is an additional middle lobar bronchi, whereas the left main bronchus has only two lobar bronchi, superior and inferior. And we have seen the characters already. It is narrower, longer, horizontal and has 5 cm length. Then, after entering into concerned lung, the main bronchus divides into lobar bronchi, and each lobar bronchus divides into segmental or tertiary bronchi. This is the right inferior lobar bronchi. It divides further into segmental or tertiary bronchi. Each segmental bronchus enters into a bronchopulmonary segment, which we will see later. The trachea divides into right and left main bronchus. The right main bronchus divides into superior, middle and inferior lobar bronchi. The left main bronchus divides into superior and inferior lobar bronchi. Then each lobar bronchus divides further into segmental bronchi or tertiary bronchi. Each segmental bronchus enters into a bronchopulmonary segment. The structure of bronchi continues. The structure is very similar to that of trachea, though there are some differences in the cartilage. The main bronchi, the cartilage rings completely encircle the lumen. In the trachea we have seen the cartilage rings are C-shaped, where The trachealis muscle attaches the free ends together posteriorly. But in the main bronchi, the cartilage completely encircles the lumen. But in smaller and segmental bronchi, the cartilage is crescent shaped. The cartilage is crescent shaped. Coming to the neurovascular supply of bronchus, the innervation is from pulmonary branches of vagus nerve, that is cranial nerve 10. The blood supply comes from branches of bronchial artery. The venous drainage is into bronchial veins. Coming to a clinical condition called asthma. It is a chronic inflammatory disorder of the airway. It is a chronic inflammatory disorder of the airways. This is before an asthma episode, the airway. This is airway, this is the muscle, and this is air sac. After an asthma episode, the airways fill with mucus. The muscles around the airway contract and the airways are swollen. This is in brief anatomy of trachea and bronchus. Thanks for your patient listening.